Pomp and parade, guns, bells, bonfires, and illuminations from one end of this continent to the other. Those are the words of John Adams written in a letter to his wife Abigail on July 3rd, 1776. He's describing how future generations would celebrate America's Independence Day, but there's just one problem. He wasn't talking about July 4th. He was talking about July 2nd. So is July 2nd America's true Independence Day? It's up for conversation. What happened was Virginia delegate Richard Henry Lee introduced what is known as the Lee Resolution. It declared that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states. This wasn't the Declaration of Independence, of course, but it was the motion to leave the British Empire. Congress delayed the vote for several weeks while several colonies authorized their delegates to support independence. So during that time, a committee asked Thomas Jefferson to draft a declaration explaining why the colonies were choosing independence. The Lee Resolution was the measure that Congress actually voted on to declare the colonies free and independent from Great Britain. Jefferson's declaration wasn't the vote. It was the explanation to the world of why that decision was made. So, on July 2nd, 1776, Congress voted. The Lee Resolution passed. So for the first time, Congress declared the colonies to be free and independent states. John Adams was convinced Americans would celebrate that day forever. That's why he wrote about parades, church bells, bonfires, fireworks, and celebrations stretching across the continent. But over the next 2 days, Congress finished editing Jefferson's Declaration of Independence and approved its final wording on July 4th. Because the Declaration was delayed to July 4th, that's the first printed copies that carried the date throughout the colonies, and Americans eventually came to celebrate the 4th as Independence Day. So while we celebrate the 4th of July, don't forget, July 2nd, the day Congress actually voted for American independence.